It is an understatement to say that it has been a long time since my last video, as a literal year has passed by, or just 5 months. But as of recently, I've been getting back into the Regressed Demon Lord is Kind, the Regressed Demon Lord is Kind, and I've really been enjoying my reread of the story way more than I honestly expected, because I do already have a review of it up on the channel, which is a year or so old, and at the time I stopped reading the novel because I had already caught up and I wanted to stockpile up chapters, and I just never really ended up picking the novel up again until now. And honestly, the novel is just almost as good as the first time I picked it up, if not better in some ways, because I'm picking up on things that I hadn't really picked up on in my first read through. So, with all that being said, I just wanted to create a quick discussion, just a relaxed discussion from the first chapter up till 147, where I am at right now. So if you guys haven't read it, I guess you guys can also join in on the reading, and which probably won't happen, but you guys could also contribute to the discussion in the comments. But yeah, so the first thing that really stuck out to me in the novel on my second read through was just Zich's character, or Zeke or Zik. I don't know how you guys pronounce it, but just his character and his willingness to just be free. He's not really like evil in any sense, even though he was the demon lord of strength. He's just someone who doesn't want to be like bound or tied down by rules. And he honestly kind of reminds me of like Luffy, because even though Luffy's like looked at as like what, a good person, at the end of the day he's just a random pirate that's just fighting people and overthrowing what, governments. And much like Luffy, Zik or Zeke or Zech really just wants to do his own thing and have fun, which, I mean, how can you not get behind that? And aside from Zeke, Zich, his initial character, I also really liked what the author did in subverting multiple cliches in novels, primarily in terms of what the author did with the character of Hans, turning him from the stereotypical just annoying side character or side villain who just like throws crap at the main character. He really transforms from just an annoying brat into someone who you can actually kind of, well, not kind of, but someone who you can actually respect and admire, because of how much they have changed from just an annoying person to someone who actually is understandable and someone you can actually like relate with. Because at the start of the novel, Hans was just someone who just wanted to bully Zeke, and make his life more miserable. But as we progress throughout the story, we find out that Hans really wants to be a hero, and Zeke trains him and does everything for Hans to be able to achieve that dream. And in other novels, maybe Hans might be the main character, because he really does embody someone who could be main character material, as he's hardworking. He puts up with everything, or every training regime that Zeke throws at him, and doesn't really throw a fuss, although he doesn't have a choice, because Zeke will probably beat him up if he puts up any arguments. And yeah, what else can I say? I really like Hans's character, and I find it comedic at times when he's just by himself with Snoc, and Hans just starts talking, swearing with his enemies, and really just embodies Zeke. And you can just really tell how much Zeke has rubbed off on Hans, no matter how much Hans doesn't want to admit it. And moving on from Hans into the first real actual arc, I guess, that you can refer to after Zeke just creates a gigantic mess at the Steelwall family. The first arc with Lubella and Weig. I really enjoyed this arc. It introduces a lot of the key, well, it introduces Lubella and Weig, who are constantly going to reappear in the novel, is what I'm trying to say. You guys can also correct me if I'm mispronouncing Weig. But some memorable characters from this arc that I found to be memorable, aside from Lubella and why. I thought Timmy was memorable because of the Darman-like twist that the author added into the novel with Timmy and his little brother, with not judging a book by its cover. From there, I don't really have anything to discuss in terms of Snoc and Naum, aside from the fact that I really enjoy Snoc being with the party, because he does offer just little bits and more details as to how the group functions when they're traveling in between places. Because when they're entering into the kingdom, I forget what the name of it was, for the king's birthday to see Evelyn, we get a scene with Snoc being able to read signs a little bit, because Lyla and Hans had been teaching him how to read, and I thought that interaction was just awesome. But going back a little bit from that, I wanted to talk about the little boy who his whole family and whole pretty much just neighborhood just got wiped out because it wasn't really him, but because they ran into a Belid priest cardinal who just horribly tortured and mutilated them. And on the topic of that, I just wanted to say rest in peace. Rest in peace to the boy and his family and neighbors. But I hope they rest easier knowing that that man got what he deserved. Because Zeke is not someone to pass up on a perfect opportunity like that to fulfill his sadistic desires. After that, we're kind of jumping all over the place, but hey, maybe I'll get better at this as I keep making more videos if I can, and if the next video isn't in the next year. But I wanted to also talk about Zeke and Lyla's relationship real quick, because Zeke and Lyla did not have the best of first impressions, because the first time they meet is at Dracule's estate, where Zeke just starts they just start fighting each other because they don't know what is going on, and if the other person's evil or not. And after that, they do try to kind of make up a little bit, and they not kind of, but they do make up and they get to know each other better. And honestly, even on the second read through, I was really on the train that Zeke was getting to know Lyla better and actually starting to care about her. But oh shit, my battery's going low. But I was of the thought that Zeke was actually starting to care for Lyla, and or maybe putting a value on their relationship, aside from just trying to get information out of her. But then we just get into Zeke's like thoughts, and he's just like manipulating her basically. He's just like, yeah, if I get her to care about this, if I ask this question, then she's gonna. And I just hope, like, reading more into the novel, that Zeke changes and grows to actually care more about his companions. I mean, I don't say that as in Zeke doesn't like care about his companions and would just throw them away. Well, on second thought, maybe. I honestly, I don't even know, because Zeke, he is kind of heartless to an extent, but I don't know to what extent he says he doesn't care about them, to where it is like just him being cold to them, or it is what he truly believes. But Zeke just honestly speaks his mind to the point that he doesn't care about what others think, so I'm inclined to believe that Zeke doesn't really care about them. But I really want to believe that Zeke actually cares for them, and which is why he's helping Snoc, Hans train really hard so that they can become the heroes that they want to become. But more realistically, it's probably because Zeke doesn't want Hans and Snoc to hinder him, so he trains them. Honestly, I don't know, but you guys tell me what you guys think. I rambled on for a while, but that's all I really wanted to say, I think, up until chapter 147. I hope to make more videos or discussions up until the ending. And yeah, that's basically it. Hope you guys are doing well. I know it's been my updates like schedule is very erratic, but I hope you guys are doing fine. Update me on how your life's going, if if you're comfortable with that, and I'll try to what? Put my 2 cents or 3 cents in it, say, awesome, you're doing good.